Welcome to Brad Allen Drums. Today we're going to talk about mastering the buzz roll, also called the multiple bounce roll. Also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I've got a bonus for you. By the way, if you're new to this channel, I'm Brad Allen. I'm a professional drummer based out of Kansas City, who also spent over 20 years teaching private drum lessons, and now I'm doing my best to pass along all that knowledge to you. The buzz roll was one of the most difficult rudiments for me to personally master, although I will say that if you practice it exactly as I'm going to teach you today, step by step, it's very easy for most students to learn, much easier than learning to do a double stroke roll. First, let me give you a quick demonstration so you know what it's supposed to sound like. Notice that I'm getting multiple bounces per stroke. When you play a double stroke roll, you want exactly 2 bounces per stick. For a buzz roll, you want as many bounces per stick as possible. That's one of the keys to getting a smooth sounding buzz roll. Here's the easiest way to learn to play this rudiment. Step 1, modify your grip. Take all the fingers off the stick except for the index finger and your thumb. You're going to hold the stick with just the first joint of the first finger and your thumb. This is the easiest way to get as many bounces as possible per stick. If you keep those other fingers around the stick, that will inhibit the bouncing and you'll get less bounces per stick. Let me show you the difference. Here's with all the fingers off the stick. If I try to put all those fingers back on and use a regular grip, very hard to do. Step 2, practice slowly alternating hands. Again, you're trying to get as many bounces as possible per stick. Practice soft at first. It's easier to learn to play soft buzz rolls in the beginning than loud buzz rolls. Playing loud buzz rolls is a lot more advanced and takes a lot more control. Try to get the same sound each time out of each stick as opposed to this. Getting the same sound every time is another big key to achieving a smooth sounding buzz roll. Now, a few other things. It's easier to learn buzz rolls on a tight practice pad or a drum head. If you're practicing on an actual drum, start by practicing close to the edge of the drum rather than in the middle of the drum. Again, it's easier to learn than starting in the middle. The head is tighter toward the edge, so it's easier to get multiple bounces out of the stick. Use a little bit of finger and a little bit of wrist. You don't want to stifle the bounce like this. Bring the stick down and get the bounce going, but don't stop the bounce by putting too much pressure on the stick and digging it into the head like I just did there. That's what you want. You don't want to stop the bounce. You want the stick to stop itself, as opposed to this. Where you hold the stick also makes a big difference. If you're too far up, it won't bounce as well because you've got too much weight on the back. And if you're too far back, you have too much weight on the front. Every size stick is a little bit different, so you need to experiment to find the best place to hold the stick where it will bounce the most easily. One thing I want to mention here real quick, if you really want to get your hand technique, your stick control together, I have a great course that I created available, and it's called Killer Stick Control in just 30 minutes a day. I'll put a link in the notes so you can check it out. All right, step 3, practice speeding up the roll. Again, at this point, it will be a lot easier to practice playing soft and loud as you're learning to work up your speed. Practice with a metronome and work up your speed gradually. You want to work up your speed until the roll sounds smooth. You don't want to play too fast though. After a certain speed, it starts to choke the roll. It'll just start sounding nervous. That's clearly too fast. And that's not what you're after. Smooth as glass is what you're after. This is about the speed you want. Step 4, work on dynamics. After you have good control over the buzz roll at a soft volume, you want to learn to play it louder. Go back to your slowest speed again, lift the stick a little bit higher, and gradually work up your speed again. Eventually, you want to be able to play a nice smooth roll at all different dynamic levels. Step number 5, practice going from single stroke 16th notes to buzz stroke 16ths. Basically, what you want to do is you want to modify the grip every time. I'm going to do it nice and slow here to demonstrate. What you want to do is make sure that the last buzz stroke flows smoothly into the first single stroke. Again, I'm bringing the fingers back on the stick for the single strokes, so keep those fingers nice and close to the sticks as you're switching from single strokes to the buzz strokes and back. One common mistake I see most students make is that they choke the last buzz stroke before going back to the single strokes like this. You want all those buzz strokes to sound exactly the same like this. You've got to practice nice and slow so that you can get control of that. Eventually, you want to speed that up and practice at different dynamic levels. I mentioned a bonus earlier. As a thank you for watching today, I have a gift I'd like to send you. I have 10 of the best exercises for speed that I've created, and these are the same type of exercises that helped my student Matthew Lam win a fastest hands drumming competition 2 years in a row. Just follow the link in the video or in the comments below, and we'll see you for the next video.